seems like is Scott to Scott, and with a running back of Scott. So if you're a Scott, you're in the game.
A lot of Scotts in James Island. 2nd and 10. He'll throw it again, rush that throw a little bit out high and wide, or low and wide, brings up 3rd and 10. That pass was attempted for Marion Champagne. A little low. Rushed that one a little bit. Got outside of the pocket, threw it off his back foot.
Yes, he did.
He gets his signals from his head coach, Jamar McCoy. Back to the huddle he goes, brings up 3rd and 10 with 4:47 to go in quarter number 1. And they have thrown it about every down.
They only tried to run a couple of times, did not get in too much yardage on it. Matter of fact, it was stopped after about 1 or 2 yards each carry.
They've given up 108. It is a quick stride offense, and they love the big plays.
And that's been an issue for Goose Creek, giving up the big play. They haven't faced the guy as dynamic as the guy they're going to face under center, Watkins.
Kyle Watkins, a senior. Last year he was a wide receiver. He's a QB this year. 23 total touchdowns, 14 of them on the ground. He's accounted for 1,437 yards of total offense. All eyes have got to be on this kid tonight.
It's fun when you say he's averaging 3 touchdowns a game and just forget about how many yards. On the other side, I'll give you yards. 180 a game for Dimitri Simmons.
We saw him a few weeks back. He's one of the most dynamic backs we have in the low country. He's gained 1,253 yards, 9 touchdowns. He likes to carry the load tonight. I like the experience of Jason Winstead in big games where he was before coming to Goose Creek. I think we're in for a great matchup tonight.
Should be a good one. Opening round of the playoffs. It feels more like a 3rd round game because the playoffs are trimmed down this year. It's Carolina Forest and Goose Creek on your Keating Roofing Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Opening round of the South Carolina High School League playoffs. From the Grand Strand, Carolina Forest has made the trip of about 2 hours and 15 minutes to Goose Creek, where the Gators have had an up and down season. but come in at 5-2 with a high-powered offense. Look to exact a little bit of.
Here's a run off the edge. Not a lot there. They picked up a couple.
I just got a message in from Wayne Gray. Myrtle Beach 7, South Aiken 10. And in the first, Myrtle Beach has had 3 turnovers in the first quarter.
It's hard to win when you turn it over that many times. 3rd and 8 for the Chiefs. Cam Freeman at quarterback. Looks to his head coach, Matt Reel. A couple of wide receivers to the wide side, one to the short. And I think he's going to call a timeout. In fact, he is. 3rd and 8. He wants to talk this over as they lead 6-0 with 3:05 to go in quarter number 1. Well, the Conway Medical Center Friday Night Rivals powered by Mr. Sparky. Both coaches will gather their teams. And last week was a kind of not a lot of turnovers between Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach. It was a fairly well-played game. It just looked like North Myrtle Beach beat a depleted Myrtle Beach team, had some injuries. And we were talking earlier, Adam Randall pulled up lame in that game.
He did, and the quarterback got hurt.
And you really wonder how healthy Myrtle Beach is to not making their way on the road.
Well, but the main thing with Myrtle Beach, they've got to stop the turnovers. Against Wilson, they had 6 turnovers in that game, which hurt them big time.
It's hard to win when you turn it over that many times. Here we go, 3rd and 8. For the home team, number 2 in the state. Run up the gut. He's got plenty of room there. Breaks a tackle, makes someone miss. He may go to the house. He does. Touchdown for Cam Freeman. That's Devin Montgomery. That is Devin Montgomery from Cam Freeman. Right up the gut, kind of a trap block. He ran off the guards and ran it for about 34 yards. Well, about 28 yards. Makes it 12-0, and we'll see if we can do a little better on this extra point than they did on the last one.
So what we're seeing right now tonight is that North Myrtle Beach has a definite 1-2 scoring punch.
No question about it. They run the ball really, really well. And I'll tell you, as much as football has changed, and it has changed, whether it's the NFL, college, or high school, there's the extra point. It is no good. So they're 0 for 2 on extra points tonight. 12-0, but here is a Mr. Sparky replay of a touchdown here. And once again, that's Devin Montgomery. Gets a block here, gets a downfield block from a wide receiver. And he sees the goal line, no stopping him there. He walks in and makes it 12-0, but a normally reliable extra point has turned into not so reliable here tonight. That's
a bad snap. The holder fumbled the ball.
4-play, 52-yard drive and a 30-yard touchdown run. Caps it off. The Chiefs will kick it back off, and once again, the normally reliable Zane Smith, and I don't think it's anything Zane has done thus far. They just had trouble with the snap and the hold.
Can I ask you something? What happened to the days of the huddle and the coach ran a player in with the play?
Those were the good old days.
They were days of football.
Yeah, they were days of football. But I was talking a second ago, you know, the game, we're almost out thinking ourselves in many, many ways. But the game of football has changed. There's no doubt. It's about you got to be able to throw the football. Quarterbacks improvise and extend plays. But if you play defense and run the ball, you'll be competitive in a lot of games. There's a Anderson Brothers Bank kickoff through the back of the end zone. And that'll put the James Island Trojans back in business at their 20-yard line as they trail 12-0 with 2:57 to go in quarter number 1. He gets a signal. They're waiting on a player. I think they're short one.
1st and 10 Trojans from their own 20-yard line.
And here comes Riley Wilhelm on the field to make it 11. We got about 5 seconds on the play clock. They did get it off in time. There's kind of a inside handoff, and with the ball has a little room. Rambling along the edge, a flag on the play is
Richardson as well. Game just underway. We'll get you the time and the score as soon as we can. We can tell you it's about to be 3rd and 10 after this false start on Carolina Forest.
Janak told the Horry County News or the HorryNews.com, he said, you just keep beating them up, and they're going to show a different body language. As the game goes on, they're not going to want to hit you or give the same effort. They're going to get tired of getting run over. Right?
Remains first down, but instead of first and about 3 or 4, it's first and 14 or 15. .240 and counting, quarter number 1. He'll throw it again, throw in the middle, short route, good catch. And that is Amon Walker catching that ball.
Probably got about 2 yards, 3 yards maybe.
Marion Champagne. I'm sorry, it's Marion Champagne catching that one on the far side. Picks up 3, brings up 2nd and 12. Nice crowd tonight. It's cooling off a little bit. Weather made its way through here in the last couple of days.
And James Allen brought a good crowd.
They did.
And they're noisy.
Traveled right up the coast.
Absolutely.
2nd and 12. It's a man in motion. And I think we've got another flag. A delay of game against James Allen. They're making it hard on themselves. When you come into a team that's number 2 in the state, in their stadium, you need to make just take advantage of every opportunity you have. Don't make mistakes.
But it seems to be a little confusing as to what is going on offense.
Seems to be a lot of confusion, not a little bit of confusion. Seems to be a lot of uncertainty in getting the signals relayed in and out. Second and 17 for the Trojans as their quarterback Braxton Scott puts them down. They've had some success throwing the football into short routes, and now we got a timeout on the field with 1:46 to go in quarter number 1. They want to talk it over. And you're right, John. It seems that they've been not certain and not communicating directly or coherently one with another.
With the unorthodox holding sign.
That's right, with the baseball bat sign.
Yes.
There it is. So that backs him up to the 43.
After the mark off, 2nd down and long.
Got to get inside of the 30-yard line here. Just more than 9 minutes remaining here in this opening quarter. There's the first cut for Simmons. Lost his balance there a little bit and drifted out of bounds, shy of the 35. So they won't give him a whole lot, maybe about 6.
I know you talked to Coach Morris about this, and you and I were talking a little bit about it before the game. The field conditions, so much rain that we had. You see it getting chewed up a little bit. Does it affect the way their traction?
It doesn't affect Dimitri Simmons when he wants to put his head down either.
And just go straight ahead.
It'll be 4th down, though. If you haven't seen Simmons, he will be very patient. And then when he decides to explode, he has the power to go through you and the speed to stay away from you. They're going for it on 4th down here. They will dump one off to Simmons in the flat. His cut allows him to pick up that first down, I believe. Latrell Pitts is the one he left standing in the mud.
You see the side judge.
They didn't give it
Side
to him.
judge, he marked this awfully quick. And not even going to give him a mark on it. All right, they won't bring the chains out, so they must have had him well short of the first down.
Tell you what, live, it looked like it was at least close at the worst case scenario. You can see that field already getting chewed up pretty well. 8:48 left here in the opening quarter. We're scoreless. This is the second drive for Carolina Forest. Whitaker's first, Watkins. And Watkins gets it off to Janak, and he does lower that shoulder, stays in bounds. Goose Creek has to gang tackle him at about the 47-yard line.
Carolina Forest does a great job of sealing off that left side. So when Watkins made the pitch, Chinook had nothing but open real estate down that sideline.
First and 10, Carolina Forest.
And you think he's going to step out of bounds? Not even close.
Not after what he said. Give him 26 yards on that carry. 8.5 to go opening quarter. This is Watkins' first carry, and look at him explode. He had about 10 yards before he was touched.
Kyle Watkins on the carry.
Back-to-back first downs here for the Panthers.
Some of the highlights I saw of him today, just kind of looking through the archives. I mean, he'll put on the brakes and then just turn on the speed.
He's rushing for over 100 yards a game. 3 Goose Creek defenders team up to slow down Janak.
Tackled by Aaron Bryant and Darian Kennedy.
Aaron Bryant's going to have to come off the field, I believe. Lost his helmet.
Gain of 1, second down and 9.
Sophomore lineman.
Only got a yard. Here's the junior Watkins now, swarmed and dropped.
Watkins on the carry.
He's going to lose about 2. That was Russell Holmes, the junior on the defensive line.
A lot of them.
Third and long.
A lot of them.
A lot of junior.
He was on top of him quick. Great penetration to get to Watkins, and that's how you slow down this running quarterback. Get to him before he's able to find that crease and find that hole. And their receivers, they've got some good ones. 21, number 4.
Janak Admill. Watkins fakes the pitch, glides his way to the third level. It's an easy first down on 3rd down and 11 for Kyle Watkins.
That's how confident they are in this young man's ability on 3rd and 11. How many clubs, how many teams are going to let the quarterback just carry it?
That's a big hole right there. He wasn't touched.
Now, McClellan doing his job, protecting the running back, keeping that edge, but didn't have any inside help.
Janak now straight ahead with a lead block, powering his way into the end zone, and Carolina Forest has the lead with 6.5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter.
There you see the power. You got some great line help. Just pushing the Gators out of the way in a huge hole.
Touchdown number 17 for Janak, who gets 118 yards a game. And Carolina Forest has taken a 2-hour and 15-minute bus trip to take a 7-0 lead at Goose Creek. 6.5 to go here in this opening quarter. Keating Roofing Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Six and a half minutes left in the opening quarter of the first round of the playoffs. Freshman kicker James Chaddock sends it back to Goose Creek. A high, short, angled one, and that's dangerous when you let it hit this turf. Here comes Tykelvian Thompson. It'll be the 36-yard line where the Gators will scrimmage from.
Yeah, you had a great point there.
Thanks.
That the ball actually popped up into his arms instead of looking like a waterlogged green at Augusta where the ball would just create a divot and stop. He was lucky that thing bounced up in his arms. And I think the thing we learned here in the first.
The player he ran into was 55, and he's bigger than 7. But as you said, they just keep feeding Livingston because they have so much faith in him making the big play at some point in time. Here we are, second and about 7. 2nd and 8. They'll give it to Livingston again, and there he goes. Breaks the first line, picks up about 5 or 6. And he's such a threat when he gets to that second level. I mean, once he gets to that second level of defense, he's dealing with linebackers that are far less athletic, far slower, especially in space.
Ken, how do you think he would do as a running back for Coastal Carolina?
I don't know. He's a good player. We've been impressed with him.
He's quick, and I think that Coach Chadwell would have to take a hard look at him.
3rd and a yard. He gets to the outside. He breaks a tackle, 40, 45. It's a foot race. He's at the 30, the 25, the 20, all the way out of bounds to the 20-yard line. As Knightley Livingston, they had a chance to hem him up at about the 40, and he broke off the outside. Really does a good job of reading his blockers and running off of his blockers. He doesn't get in a big hurry. Let's look at the Conway Medical Center replay. And if you watch him, he's in there, and he comes off the outside, and right here,
that's a good stiff arm.
This is where he makes the guy miss, and there's a pretty good bias, a fair attempt at a block. But he's all the way down to the 20-yard line, inside the 20, and that is the Miller Mott College red zone for North Myrtle Beach. Cameron Freeman kept the football, picked up positive yards to about the...
It looked like that might have been a missed play.
Picked up 4 or 5. We'll call it 2nd and 7.
Looked like he was going to hand it off, and he missed it, and it's like, uh-oh, I got the ball, and I better run quick.
So Freeman gives it to Livingston again. He's off the edge. He gets a block. He'll go to the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown, Livingston. Touchdown, North Myrtle Beach. And that makes it 18-0 in quarter number 2. And after the interception, John, on the 2nd or 3rd play from scrimmage, I think Matt Reel will say, hey, we do what we do, so let's get back to the basics. Let's play defense, and let's get the ball to number 7.
Yeah, and probably the next position they're going to have, they'll bring Devin Montgomery in and take Livingston out and let Montgomery have a chance at a touchdown.
That's a 5-play, 74-yard drive, a 17-yard touchdown run by Knightley Livingston. Here's a throw. He's open. He catches it for the 2-point conversion. So a nice pass from Freeman to Tyree Smith. Here's a Conway Medical Center replay of the touchdown. And once again, he steps, he points, and he turns his shoulders, and that's kind of an easy march into the end zone for Livingston. Good block downfield by his wide receiver. And it's all of a sudden 20-0. Here's the Conway Medical Center's contribution. Thank you to Conway Medical Center for donating $500 each week to the host school. In total, our local schools will receive $5,000. So thank you to Conway Medical Center for supporting high school football along the Grand Strand. $20-0 as the Chiefs have kind of found their mojo, John.
They've got their niche and they're using it. They're just really taking advantage of their offense and running Livingston and Montgomery both. Both good running backs. Livingston's quick. Montgomery's more of a hard charger.
Here's the Anderson Brothers Bank kickoff. As the Chiefs will go on defense, and we'll see what James Island can muster on offense. There's a high kick, kind of short. Caught there at about the 10. That is Jade Scott, brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. So a nice return by the Trojans as they're in business outside their own 40-yard line. Scott's a good player.
Yes, he is.
Been in a lot of action.
Caught several good passes.
So a long run puts the Trojans in good field position, as I think this is their 5th.
3rd and long last drive.
You can see the field getting chewed up. Mark Morris said today that if this game were played up at Carolina Forest, he's not sure how it would have gone. Their field is apparently a mess. This one isn't great, but it's absolutely playable. 3rd down and long. Watkins lost his footing. Then Watkins takes a pounding. That time it is Andrew Allen.
You know, and that's what I saw of Watkins in some of the highlights that I found on video. He likes just to put on the brakes and then change course so fast. But a field like this, can't do it. Just can't do it. I told you, pregame, it's like Top Gun. When Tom Cruise said, or should I say Maverick said, I'm going to throw the brakes on. It's going to fly right by. It's a lot of what I saw in researching this kid today.
It was a better punt and angled away. So Goose Creek again will have decent field position here. Tied at 7, 4 minutes left here, first quarter. Keating Roofing, Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. You may not have wanted to put the defense out there again that quickly after a quick score, but the defense did its job. 3 and out, no yards gained.
Yeah, their second 3 and out. Forced a 3 and out on Carolina Forest opening drive. And gave up the long touchdown drive.
It's from about the 25. Look at him put on the brakes, does Taylor. Maybe 9 yards on that one.
Crunching the numbers back in the Gator glory days. 2010 to 2014, they were 61-6, win the state championship back in 2011.
Kion Smith now gets a block on the edge from his fellow receiver Levine. It's a first down for the Gators.
Offensive coordinator Tyler Kirby of Goose Creek sees something he likes on the outside. Those outside passes have not been challenged.
Haven't seen an explosive run from Dimitri Simmons, so they're setting that up with the aerial attack. Here comes Simmons. Defense swarms to him. He's pushed out around the line of scrimmage.
I have to give credit. Credit is due. I don't do that often. But the first time we saw him play, we couldn't figure out who he looked like. Until our man Nick Case, said it's Le'Veon Bell. I'm like, that's exactly who it is. He just sits and patiently waits for a hole and then busts right through it.
Speaking of bust right through, that's what happened to the offensive line right there. Let a guy come busting right on through. Isaiah Coakley was back there, the linebacker. He had help, and it's 3rd down and 10.
Good awareness by the sophomore quarterback. Had nothing, got out of the pocket, made sure he launched it out of bounds.
First-year starter is Drew Moore, replacing Mukwamu, who is at one of the better junior college programs out there. It's the end of the year, so he's seen a lot by now, and he is down. He'll take that sack underneath Noah Chudik.
So Carolina Forest secondary steps up their play, those last two. I like to call those coverage sacks. Nobody open, nowhere to go with the ball.
Mass Cam brought to you by D-Heck. They remind you to fight the spread.
Important to do right now.
You can see numbers going up all around the country and in the world of football. Now this one could be Goose Creek's ball.
Wow.
Barely gets the kickoff to Kennedy, but it hits a Carolina Forest player, and Goose Creek recovers.
A lot to unpackage on this play. First a high snap, and then the effort just to get the ball. And then Kennedy gets crushed, comes up limping, and yeah, it looks like he hits. See right there, he gets hit pretty good. I don't know if we got a clear shot of it or not. I think anytime Jason Winstead's chin points out a little further than his face, it's not a good sign.
First and 10, Carolina Forest.
They're giving it to Carolina Forest.
Let's see it again.
Now, what you can say here
is it doesn't reach the line of scrimmage.
Exactly.
So it's almost like a block punt.
Exactly. Did not get the first down, so it's essentially a turnover on downs. So that is why they'll have it at the 42-yard line here, as Watkins is able to get outside. Spins free. This guy's got a whole bevy of moves, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Out of bounds at the 28-yard line. First and 10, Carolina Forest.
Quick to the outside. You've got to be able to contain him and force him back inside. Against South Flores, he rushed the ball 10 times for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Is that good? That's good,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. For about 2 weeks, it's good.
2:20 to go, opening quarter. Janak shedding tacklers. Another one. Ravenel finally grabs the ankles, and the Gators come and help him out.
Janik on the carry.
I think with Janak, you've got to be able, you can't tackle him high, right?
Yep.
This is a guy that needs to be hit around his thighs.
Carolina Forest.
Also, he's got C.J. Shoup, number 44. That's his fullback right there.
We're into the Miller Mott College Red Zone. Take control of your future with the skills to succeed at Miller Mott College. Watkins has a flag down behind him. I think this field, if anything, is making guys slip off the ball carrier. And we'll check on the flag that's down in the backfield.
Looked like the whole left side of the Panthers' offensive line jumped. Doesn't look like a false start penalty. I'm not quite sure what that is.
Illegal motion. So that takes off the big run that would have set up first and goal. First downs in this quarter have been brought to you by West Shore Homes. Convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day at westshorehome.com. All-purpose, Watkins averages about 207 a game and more than 3 touchdowns. Here's Janak once again. Ravenel put the hit on that knocked him down. It was Quinn Tolbert, number 12, who first slowed him down.
And that's the key. Somebody right off the rip has got to slow him down. You can't let him get into that second line of defense, the linebackers.
Inside of a minute to go in this opening quarter with a running clock. And they do have to have another snap here before the end of the quarter. The play clock is down closer to 10. Second down here. Watkins has to go backwards to then move forwards and somehow make something out of that. Andrew Bryant had him dead to rights in the backfield.
Did not get out of bounds. Clock still runs. This is a guy who's got one offer. Coach said no other interest, just one offer from, I think, Frostburg State. Didn't say whether it's for a quarterback or a wide receiver position.
Yep.
But the way he moves, he could play somewhere.
6 seconds left in the quarter is when they snapped it to give it to Janak. And they'll have first and goal when we start the second quarter as the clock expires here. We thought we'd see some offense. We have. We've got the Panthers. First and goal to go when we bring you back for the second quarter of the opening round of the 5A playoffs in South Carolina High School League. Keating Roofing Friday Night Rivals driven by Cruz Chevrolet.
Fans in area high school football playoff action. In the second quarter, Somerville 7, Dutch Fort 7. Second quarter, Sumter 12, Berkeley 6. Second quarter, Fort Dorchester 14, River Bluff 0. And in the first quarter, Dillon 0, Hanahan 0. Fans, give me one of welcome to tonight's contest. While attending, we ask you please follow COVID-19 protocols by wearing your mask, practicing social distancing, and washing your hands using hand sanitizer as often as possible. Please do your part to help slow the spread of COVID-19. Thank you on behalf of Goose Creek High School and the Berkeley County School District.
You see the ball spotted there at the 5, a much cleaner side of the field. A lot less chewed up on the other side. Dean Stevens, Darren Goldwater, glad you're with us for the start of the second quarter of the opening round of the 5A playoffs. Goose Creek the host to Carolina Forest from the Myrtle Beach area. And it's the Panthers who are threatening to reclaim the lead. They scored first on a Janak 10-yard touchdown run. Almost exactly a minute later, Goose Creek answered on the third play of their drive with a 55-yard touchdown strike to Kion Smith. So that's where we are. Here's Janak, and Janak, no signal given yet. He was stood up around the goal line and is not in.
Easy to see how this team averages about 40 points a game, right?
Yep.
Second down and goal.
Richardson just digging in right there.
Yep, that was man on man. Richardson about 5'10", 220. Canuck looks to be about the same.
Now Janak is the lead blocker for Watkins, and he's in. His 10th rushing touchdown of the year, his 24th overall. Check it, his 15th rushing, still 24th overall. And it's a 6-point lead for the Panthers.
Yeah, a little bit of thunder and lightning in the backfield. One of them is going to get you. But again, comes back to mistakes. Got to be clean. All this set up by a poor snap on a punt.
Yep.
You know, it just feels like everything else in 2020, right? It feels so odd at a first-round playoff game with two quality teams like this. Usually it's a number 1 seed versus a number 4 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Get a little bit better action between a 2 and a 3 seed.
Yeah, David Shelton's been saying this for weeks now, that the playoffs this year are more like the third round and the first round because you only have 2 teams from each region. By the way, 11:15 to go as we get a look at crunching the numbers, brought to you by Anderson Brothers Bank. Class
5A Dutch Fork has been the class all year. Fort Dorchester second, receiving votes West Ashley and Goose Creek. 3A, it's Oceanside and Hanahan. Class 2A is Woodland.
Same type of kickoff Carolina Forest utilized the previous time to the same guy, Ty Kelvin Thompson. And this time he's got it out around the 40.
I don't understand that play unless your kicker can't kick it that far.
Or they're just terrified of the deep man.
Yeah, but you're setting up. I mean, you're giving to him at the 42. You might as well just have an onside kick.
Out of bounds at the 42
true.
yard line. First and 10, Goose Creek.
So back out comes Drew Moore.
A long, sustained drive is what this offense needs right now, what this defense needs right now.
11 minutes left in this first half. On the edge is Malachi Taylor. Tries to stretch for a couple more. That's maybe 4 yards. Taylor's heading to Coastal Carolina. Carolina Forest backyard next year.
Again, look at the DB at the top of the screen playing a good 5-6 yards off. Steps up now.
Simmons, look, the hole is there, the explosion is there, and a first down for Dimitri Simmons, who gets 180 yards a game, moves the chains here.
He gets 180 a game because he's going to nickel and dime you. He'll get 2 or 3, he'll get 5 or 6, and then all of a sudden he's going to bust one for 80.
Had to transform his body coming into the year so that he could be the featured back, understanding that they would have a sophomore quarterback. Winstead told him, listen, we're going to need you. And he did. Changed up his body in the offseason and became a guy who has had 40-plus carry games. Here's Moore going quickly. Wide open to Taylor.
Wow.
Touchdown Gators.
Wow. The quick strike. They answer.
Again.
And they do it quickly.
I've got it as a 40-yarder unofficially.
And a really nice ball by Drew Moore. Puts it up high. You talked about it earlier. The size differential between these Goose Creek wide receivers and Carolina Forest, they can be exploited, and they have been now.
And they're getting behind him. On the touchdown to Kion Smith, that was 55 yards in the first quarter. He was running open over the middle and then ran away. And Malachi Taylor was pretty open down the sideline too, and Moore didn't miss him.
I was interested to see how Kennedy would respond after that punt. He got hit pretty good and was limping. No problems.
So once again, after a Carolina Forest touchdown, Goose Creek scores on its third play.
So Smith and Taylor with the 2 touchdowns. Taylor is his 3rd on the year. I mean, it puts you in a weird pickle, doesn't it? For
Wanting
a coach.
to give your defense rest.
You want to give your defense rest, but you're not going to turn away points, right? You can't.
You're going to need to score. This will be similar.
What do you got?
To tomorrow night with South Carolina and Ole Miss. Because Ole Miss is going to put up points, and you're going to have to score to keep up with them.
Okay.
And it's the same thing here. You can play ball control all you want, but the other guys are going to score. So it's just that type of a game. That ball knocked down by Admill, still not scooped up, and it's Schussler who falls on it. Right about 10 minutes to go here in the half.
You know, we usually pivot to college football talk and blowouts late in games.
You saying I jumped it early?
I'm just saying. So I'm just going to go one step further. Who's going to quarterback for USC tomorrow night?
Colin Hill is going to start. Mike Uva from Watch Fox up in Columbia had that report earlier today. It was widely expected that it would be somebody else for South Carolina, and it came as quite a surprise that Colin Hill will get the nod. But it will be Colin Hill who gets the start.
There you go.
Worst field position by a long shot for any team in this game. Here's Janak bouncing off the first hit and then forced out of bounds. That was Tykelvian Thompson up to push him out.
Go back to a quote I saw in that article. They were talking about this team a little bit. Kyle Watkins, he said, our pregame speech is always to play faster and just hit him in the mouth. Right?
Love it.
And they've done it all year long.
Yeah, he wasn't lying, right? He said we just want to keep hitting him and hit him in the mouth. Got to see if Goose Creek does what he expects, though. We'll have to see that in the second half. Inside 9.5 to play. Here's Janak. Same story as the first quarter. Takes multiple guys to get him down on the ground. Ethan Latham was around that play. It'll be third down.
They've got opportunities in the open field. They just got to figure out where they want to go with them. Right? You can't, an arm's not going to work. Right? It's got to be full body rugby tackle.
Looks like it's about 3rd and 2. 8:40 and counting in the second quarter. Here's Janak. That's an easy first down. Slips off Ravenel, and he's into the open field. Can the Gators catch him? It's Alex Dial who caught a leg, slips off another. Ravenel comes back and makes the play at the 1.
Pretty good.
77 yards for Janak.
Ball spotted at the 1-yard line, 1st and goal, Carolina Forest.
He averages 10 a carry this year. 80 carries for 825 yards.
Got to credit Ravenel.
Good hustle play by Ravenel, absolutely.
Yeah, he was beaten around midfield and still came back to make that play.
You've got two teams, both with 24-plus seniors on their roster.
First down brought to you by Limerick Heating and Air as Watkins finishes the job. His second rushing touchdown in as many possessions, and back and forth we go as Carolina Forest uses 4 plays to go 86 yards and reclaim the lead.
People all year talking about Watkins and Janak. One of their coaches said you've got to give credit to those guys up front. There are 4 seniors on that offensive line, 1 sophomore.
Extra point is good. With 8:04 left in the first half, your score, Carolina Forest 21.
So they've got to find a way
D.
how to slow those guys down.
Slow the spread, too. That's what the mass cam's all about. Fight that spread. 8 minutes to go in the first half. 21-14, Carolina Forest leads. We've had touchdowns on the last 3 possessions of Friday Night Rivals driven by Cruz Chevrolet.
Football fans who want up-to-the-minute scores of all the playoff games need to be following the full coverage scoreboard presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. You can find it on social media by following the South Carolina High School League Twitter feed. You can also win a Pigskin Playoff t-shirt the same way. A virtual t-shirt toss and full coverage scoreboard, all presented by Farm Bureau Insurance on Twitter at SCHSL. Fans, don't forget to visit GooseCreekAthletics.com for all your ticketing needs. With basketball season around the corner, now would be a good time to get your tickets. Gator basketball tips off at home December 4th against West Ashley. Again, go to GooseCreekAthletics.com to purchase your tickets.
Hope you like offense. That's what we've got. We have 3 touchdowns of 4 plays or less. There's the onside kick. It hits off the face mask, and Goose Creek recovers. Kind of lulled him into it.
Nick, could you re-rack that part where I said you might as well just do an onside kick? Wow, short field. Short field for an offense that's had no problem scoring quickly.
49-yard line.
Fortunate for Marabella that he falls on it. The ball didn't take a weird hop off his face mask.
So, yeah, I mean, they got the last kick at the 42.
Yeah, Goose Creek has had fantastic starting field position. Here's Simmons, and he spins his way and falls forward 6 yards.
You got to wonder if this offense, led by Tyler Kirby, the offensive coordinator, has got to stick to the ground game. But they're running quick. I mean, they're not like, they're not slowing the clock down, isn't he, all?
No. Here's Simmons. That's what he likes to do. He'll patiently wait and just like that burst through for a first down.
It was driving me crazy the first time I saw him play. I was like, what's he doing?
And Nevin Tyler with the stop.
By the end of the game, he had, 100-plus yards. I'm like,
That's what he's doing. Back to Simmons here. They've seen a heavy dose to the arm of Drew Moore. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns, 2 long touchdowns. 55-yarder to Kion Smith and a 40-yarder to Malachi Taylor.
And I remember watching Marion Scott in our last game. His backup, the sophomore, just came in. He's explosive as well.
And they'll fake it to him. Take another shot deep. Open again. Is he inbounds?
I don't think so.
Did Levine have a foot inbounds?
They said no. Let's go to the replay. Let's get under the hood.
As Warner Wolf said, let's go to the videotape. He's still campaigning.
Another great ball by Moore, right?
Oh, yeah.
That'll bring him a 3rd down and 6.
Oh, yeah, he's in. Got that toe in.
Flag and a whistle prior to the snap.
That's a coach who wants instant replay instituted immediately at the high school level.
Yeah.
That's tough. So on the back end of it, the arguing has caused it unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
I mean, it's a tough angle, but it.
Right. If this is the angle we've got,
you can't overturn it. It looked like the ref was in the back corner of the end zone. But again, you got to be able to keep your emotions in check here, or just go deep again.
And that's what Moore will do. It is snagged out of the air by Kion Smith, and he got the first down.
The heck was that? That ball looked like it was headed over to Red Bank Road, right?
Yeah.
Looked like he just let it loose sore.
First down, Goose Creek.
And then he just one-hands it.
Man, Connor Meehan was going up for the ball, and then he had to make the tackle. First down from Limerick Heating and Air as Dimitri Simmons is slowed for about a yard. We got 6.5 minutes left here in the second quarter.
Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9.
That's a pretty catch.
Yeah, I would venture to guess that Drew Moore is
feeling it. Here's Levine, but he's slowed up on the edge. Jermaine Lewis slowed him up.
I would feeling it, yes, but I think confidence-wise, you start as a sophomore, right?
Mm-hmm.
He may be a little rusty games 1, 2, and 3, but he has been on point in this game. He's found the open guys on the flats. He's thrown a great deep ball. Throws it over the middle with confidence.
5:40 left. Clock just stopped here for the officials to give the ready to play.
Look at the top of the screen how far the DBs are. That's slot receiver.
They don't even look that way. Come back to the near side where Levine may have had it knocked away by Lewis. And it's 4th down.
Going to bring up 4th down and 7.
Yeah, the slot guy didn't even move.
Mm-mm.
Second time they've gone for it on 4th down. First quarter they miss out by a yard. Again, nobody on the inside. Oh, my goodness.
Didn't get that flag. 5.5 to go, second quarter. 4th down and about 7. Moore wants more than 7, and it is incomplete. That was Connor Meehan deflecting it in the end zone.
Had an opportunity to look left. But I think that's where he wanted to go the entire time. Underthrown just a little bit.
Something tells me we're going to see more of Drew Moore's arm in this game. A lot more.
And now 5.5 left. Huge challenge for the Gators defense.
A foghorn. Janak falls down and lost about 4.
Important to point out. Oh, I think that foghorn was delay of game. Maybe.
No. I think it was a fan. They have not been updating the down and distance, so that is incorrect on the scoreboard. We have a camera on that constantly that you can't see. Yeah, that's someone in the stands. Here's Watkins, spins through 3 guys, and then he's taken down by Andrew Allen.
Tackled by Andrew Allen.
He's slippery.
Strong. No, he's more quick and slippery. You know, and you look at again, not comparing him to any NFL quarterback, but I mean, you look at the Lamar Jackson type of quarterback / running back, right? But again, that offensive line creating a hole, giving him the opportunity to pick up 8 or 9 yards per pop.
Need a couple of yards here on 3rd down. Watkins got that, plenty more. Juking and jiving his way into Melvin Ravenel's arms at midfield, and they'll spot him a yard past that. 1st down for the Panthers, inside 5 minutes to go in the quarter.
Early on in this game, Goose Creek did a nice job between the tackles, containing the run. But in this quarter, been giving up holes. Carolina Forest exploiting the outside early on in this game.
Great job by our crew to show you that clock while we're working on getting that graphic for you. Watkins didn't have it deep, still on his feet, and he's going to hold on to the football as he is down. Quinn Tolbert is the one who drops him for the sack.
You'll call Tolbert's name quite a bit tonight. Got a hand on the jersey and just kept fighting. Lucky for Watkins, that ball is loose in that right arm.
Lost 5.
Part of the pandemic, smaller crowds, no band. A lot of good natural sound from the fans screaming and yelling.
2nd down and 15. Inside 3 minutes to go now in the half. Quick drop for Watkins into double coverage. And no flags. Wanted DJ Admill.
They haven't really needed to throw the ball. They've been so effective running it. Admill, one of his top targets, aside from Luke's brother, Adam Janak. Remember on the last 3rd and long, it was like 3rd and 9 or 10. Watkins kept it for a 1st down.
Needs 15 yards here. Wants to throw, will throw. It's incomplete. Ravenel may have had a hand on that one. Intended for Ethan Hillman.
Mission accomplished for that defense. Get off the field after giving up back-to-back touchdown drives.
I think he'd have been short even if he caught it. Yep. He's had a great game so far.
Why not let Janak punt the ball? But you got to be careful here, too.
Nice and smooth.
Yep.
Got a good roll out of it. And it will be Goose Creek's worst starting field position by a mile inside of their own 20 with 2:30 and change to play. Goose Creek has started on its 49, 36, 25, 42, and 47. They're going to start here closer to their 15.
See how they attack this with 2.5 on the clock. I think if you're writing up a game plan here, down 7, you're going to want to use the majority of this clock, score a touchdown, and then come back and start of the 3rd quarter with the football.
That would be the perfect scenario for the Gators. Here's Simmons, and Simmons doesn't have a whole lot. He got Isaiah Coakley on his back immediately.
Simmons on the carry.
Carolina Forest doing a nice job of clogging the middle.
Loss of 1, 2nd down 11.
I think if you're going to be successful with Simmons here, get him outside of the tackles.
Or take 5 yards.
Damian Pinero trying to jump the snap, put the brakes on, but brakes aren't working tonight.
Got to get it serviced.
Yeah, I think that's part of trying to jam up the middle, keeping Simmons.
So now it's 2nd and 5. That's a dangerous ball, but it finds its target for a first down. That's another one for Malachi Taylor, who's having himself a day.
Sorry about that. That's triple coverage, right on the money. But what makes it so effective, Taylor's long arms, able to get those arms stretched out. Catches it away from his body.
Loss of a yard.
I think Winstead knows he can throw it
all day.
All day. I mean, you're looking at 80% opportunity.
Set up a little receiver screen here. Here's Taylor. And Taylor is pile driven at the 45.
Minute and a half on the clock. See if Carolina Forest takes a timeout here.
Clock running. 3rd down and fewer than 5.
I thought they would have called a timeout, get the ball back if they stop him here. 1:11 on the clock right now.
Still ticking away. Moore to the air. That one didn't come out cleanly. Took forever to get to Levine. It's a first down, and the clock stops.
Love that Jason Winstead. It completed right in front of him, almost coaching the young man as he's running the ball, telling him to get out of bounds.
1 minute and 1 second on the 2nd quarter clock. First down brought to you by Limerick Heating and Air. Goose Creek trying to tie it up here before the half. There's another one to Taylor, whose numbers have really fallen off this year because defenses have swarmed him. 12 catches coming into this game. It feels like he's got 6 or 7 in the half.
Winstead takes a timeout. Moore again from the far hash. Puts it up high where only Taylor can get it. They get a timeout. Stop the clock with 52 seconds left.
Drew Moore, I think, has grown up before our eyes. We saw him 3 weeks ago against Ashley Ridge. But he looks much more poised and much more confident here today. The Gators scoring drives, the 2 of them they've had, were a 3-play drive and a 3-play drive. 2 long touchdown passes. We are about on the 7th play of this drive.
Carolina Forest plays one of the more difficult regions in our state. And to think they only gave up 108 points all year long. And to see what Goose Creek is doing here. You know, I was looking at that huddle. Who I've not seen is their huge center, Jaden Johnson. Unless he's playing guard.
Moore with a pump fake, got hit as he throws it, and it's incomplete.
I think Johnson switched over to guard, 52.
He used to play guard.
There he is, 52. Playing guard tonight. Lawton Hawkins playing center right now. I was worried about that pressure coming in. Whew. Nevin Tyler.
First time they've really hit Moore. Now Moore collides with Simmons and has it back for Goose Creek. Inside 40 seconds left, and it is at 36.7. Goose Creek calls the timeout.
It didn't start well.
Nope.
Ended well, didn't start well.
It ended okay.
Well, better than what could have been.
This possession for Goose Creek started at their 15-yard line with 2.5 minutes to go. There's 36 seconds left now, and they will have the ball to begin the 3rd quarter. Entertaining game here, opening round of the playoffs.
Great game.
Not a whole lot of penalties, a lot of big plays. Dimitri Simmons hasn't had to do a whole lot because Goose Creek has been exploiting the aerial attack, whereas the Panthers have been pounding it out on the ground. Big play for them was the Janak 79-yard touchdown. will set up a touchdown. A 77-yard run. He wanted one more yard. It would have been a touchdown, but Watkins got it. .36 seconds left. Into double coverage and incomplete for 4th down.
A lot of success on short routes along the sidelines.
Going to bring up 4th down and 13.
Last 2 balls have gone deep. Well, 2 of the last plays, 2 of the last 3. They went deep.
Here's an interesting decision.
Yeah, I don't.
Because if you don't pick this up, Goose Creek has taken 2 timeouts, so they've got 1 timeout left. Carolina Forest, I believe, has all 3. They do. So if you go for this and don't pick it up, Carolina Forest has good field position. Drew Moore's going to take another shot. They like their receivers against the defensive backs. And they turn it over on downs for the 2nd straight possession.
Yep, so you give them a short field with 22 seconds left. I feel like they got away from what was working for them. That little short 7-yard pass, the out, even across the middle.
Mm-hmm. Kind of getting greedy, just going for the home run ball.
Yeah, because that wasn't 4th and 3.
Carolina Forest won't mess around. They'll take their halftime lead. 21-14.
I like the gamble now.
Yeah, certainly looks better now, doesn't it? Watkins with a couple of rushing touchdowns. Janak with a rushing touchdown. The 21 on the board for the Panthers. A Kion Smith long reception for a touchdown, and a Malachi Taylor long one. The 2 touchdowns for Goose Creek. 7-point game at the half. Opening round of the South Carolina High School League 5A playoffs. Keating Roofing Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Roper St. Francis Hospital Halftime Report is brought to you by Roper St. Francis Hospital, where experience matters. Each week, David Ayler Law Offices and Riders Law Group proud to highlight scholar athletes from each participating school. Students selected have an opportunity to win a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Let's get a look at tonight's scholar athletes, brought to you by David Ayler Law Offices and Riders Law Group. Simeon Kennedy, 3.8 GPA, with a big man from Goose Creek. defensive lineman at 6'1". Since that's the only team in our area, he's the only one who's eligible in this game for the $5,000 scholarship. Congratulations to Simeon Kennedy. For more on the David Ayler Law Offices, we check in now with Scott Eisberg.
Joined now by David Ayler of the Ayler Law Offices. And David, we didn't think we would be here. We are here, and we've had a lot of smart kids each and every week. How exciting is that for you to kind of weed through them and at the end pick a winner of our Scholar Athlete?
Well, the hardest part is the end, because every one of them deserves a scholarship and deserve to be, rewarded for what they've done on the field and, of course, what they do in the classroom.
This week, one of our former Scholar Athletes is playing against the Clemson Tigers for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That is battling Bishop Leo Albano from right here at Bishop England High School. How exciting is it when you see success stories like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing because you see what they do in high school. We see what they put in their profile, and you're like, man or this woman really has so much ahead of them, and there's a perfect example of one.
David Ayler, presenter of our Scholar Athlete.
Appreciate David Ayler and law offices there and Riders Law Group for being with us so many years now on Friday Night Rivals. 21-14, Carolina Forest leads Goose Creek. We are at the half. Goose Creek will have it to begin the third quarter. Plenty more at the half, including highlights from around the country on Friday Night Rivals as we roll along on your Keating Roofing Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Roper St. Francis Hospital halftime report brought to you by Roper St. Francis Hospital, where experience matters. That's your halftime clock ticking down and the score. Carolina Forest on top of Goose Creek by a touchdown. All three touchdowns for the road team came on the ground. Both of them for Goose Creek through the air, 55 and 40 yards. Winner of this game gets a really fancy trophy brought to you by All-American Awards. For almost 30 years, All-American Awards in Mount Pleasant has been your local trophy shop, providing both corporate and sports awards to meet your style and budget. Visit Steve and his crew at All-American Awards when you recognize excellence. You can find them on the web, Awards Guy. I tell you every week, it's plural, awardsguy.com. Highlight time.
Let's go.
Thursday Night Lights, Friday Night Rivals takes you out to Texas. He could go all the
Why
way.
are we showing that? This is poor tackling.
Or is 33 going to get him? No.
No. The Mules. I like that.
Alamo Height Mules. Go to Irma, little flea flicker. Look at this. That wasn't even late in the game.
Perfect.
And it leads to a touchdown. That game was tied at 8. Okay.
Perfect.
Timp view, huh? Is that a fake punt?
Yeah.
That guy looks a lot more like a position player than a punter. And he runs like one, too.
Chinook is punting tonight.
That's true.
And then you got,
hey, look.
what do we got?
We got Charleston.
Get out.
Late in the game, 4th quarter. Boom. It's a
Michael
long touchdown.
Long.
The game winner for Michael Long. And then a vicious hit. That was Rainey.
Look at you without the notes from last week.
We had them twice. I better know their names.
Is that what happened to their field?
It's either dead grass
I think
or concrete.
they call it dormant. You ever feel like 3 guys are chasing you down, like in your nightmares?
Yeah.
That was it right there.
Well, if that happens in your nightmare, hold on to the ball. don't let them take the ball if they're going to at least catch you.
That was awesome. Love that.
Solid stuff. Halftime continues here. We will get you some scores from around the playoffs and around the state. 21-14, our score. Carolina Forest on top. Your Keating Roofing Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet.
No, this is...
Halftime here. 21-14, opening round of the South Carolina High School League playoffs. We've got you covered on the 5A side. Carolina Forest has never trailed. They scored first. Goose Creek has answered them each time to this point, and they'll have the ball to begin the third quarter as well, trailing it 21-14. Going to do our best to get you updated on some scores.
Yeah, let's hold off. We can just, I've got them on here.
We're going to rattle some off for you.
Yeah, let me just rattle some off on the...
Here, before we do that, we're going to hear from our buddies at Limerick Heating and Air. So let's do that. How about Limerick Heating and Air?
Limerick Plumbing, Heating, and Air. You do all sorts of things, and you're very involved in the community. Why is that?
Because the community helps us. Without the community, we wouldn't be here. And we feel a responsibility to give back to the community. And, you know, it's also, it can be for selfish reasons. You know, we feel better as a group when we give to our community. You know, we walk with a little bit more pep in our step, have more pride, and stick our chest out. So,
Pride, certainly part of football. You guys wanted to get involved in football. Why was that?
well, football, like no other sport, especially in the South, you know, it brings communities together. On a Friday night, where's everybody out in the small town?
Sure.
They're at the football stadium. And it brings people together. You have a common cause. You're cheering for one thing. And that's why we wanted to support high school football.
Great to be teaming up with you this year. Great to be broadcasting high school football this year. That is David Miles, the owner of Limerick Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
All right, I can give you some of the scores here.
What you got, Sir Stevens?
River Bluff 14-6 over Fort Dorchester right now. 14-6. River Bluff over Fort D. Sumter over Berkeley 20-6.
Halftime, correct?
Yep. Dutch Fork up 21-7 on Somerville.
James Island's at North Myrtle Beach. North Myrtle Beach is leading at the half. That's 27-6.
Carver's Bay is beating Baptist Hill 20-0. Woodland and Barnwell, those are 14-14 game right now. And Philip Simmons is 0-0 with Pillion.
Burns and Gaffney, by the way, huge game up there. Gaffney leads at the half, 21-0 right now. And we've got Oceanside Collegiate also in action.
The last I saw there was 17-12 Oceanside.
Oceanside with the lead last we saw it. Game being played down at Johnson Haygood Stadium here in Charleston.
The other game that I'm interested in, and maybe I can find this quickly for us, Art Craig.
They're playing tomorrow. The Hanahan game at Dillon was moved to tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Perfect. I won't look for that.
You can keep looking all you want. It may take until about 4:30 tomorrow for you to find something.
And there's also some other games being played. You know, a lot of these teams that didn't make the playoffs still scheduled a game to play tonight. And Conway was playing Ashley Ridge.
Yes, that's right. Cane Bay is playing as well. But we gave you the playoff ones that we could get to you. And we're going to keep this playoff game rolling along. Third quarter is coming up. Carolina Forest will be kicking off with a 7-point lead, 21-14.
Grady back, and happy 9th birthday, Grady. Kansas area high school football playoff action, third quarter. Dutch Fork 21, Somerville 7. At the half, Sumter 20, Berkeley 6. Halftime, Colleton County 12, Cane Bay 7.
Maybe it's a Carolina Forest fan. He's got the colors on.
No way.
Fight the spread, D-Heck reminds you, with our mass cam as we bring you back for the third quarter. of this 5A playoff matchup. Top seed from this region, Goose Creek, and the number 2 seed from up at the Grand Strand 5A, Carolina Forest. The Panthers went 6-1 in the regular season. Only loss was in overtime to Sumter when they turned it over 4 times, including inside a minute to go that led to the tying score, and then they lost in overtime. So nearly an unblemished record. Goose Creek's at 5-2, 3-1, and will get the ball trailing by 7. Entertaining first half if you missed it. A lot of offense, a lot of big plays through the air for Goose Creek, mostly on the ground for the Panthers.
I think it's going to be interesting to see the adjustments made by both of these teams. For Carolina Forest defensively, they seem to be okay giving up the 7-8 yard passes out to the flats.
Number 81, James Chaddick.
For Goose Creek, they've got to find a way to fill the gaps and slow down this running game.
Deep for the Gators, number 9, Dimitri Simmons.
Yeah, Carolina Forest has made it pretty clear. Dimitri Simmons is not going to beat the Panthers. That is their mentality. This almost worked in the first half, and it will not work this time either. It was dangerous.
Onside kick recovered by the Gators.
But recovered again by Marabella, who had one go off his mask in the first half and recovered it.
Well,
strategy,
they have a lot of trust in their defense, man. Right? They gave up just a little more than 100 points all year. They're going to go ahead and just, I don't know what the odds are on, getting an onside kick all year if you keep on doing it, but
they gave up 6 or fewer in 3 games, including their last one. Gave up 14 to the Gators in the first half, who come with Simmons on first down, who spins out to the 49.
Looked like he had open field to his right. He chose left.
Gain of 5, second down and 5.
We've been working on the clock. We'll get that back up for you if we can. It is a 21-14 lead right now for Carolina Forest, and when you fake a snap, that's going to be a false start.
I think he
inadvertent.
It looked like he almost slipped off the ball.
False start is the indication against the Gators.
Yes, somehow it slipped out of his hand. So back to the original line of scrimmage where this started. 11 and a half minutes to go, third quarter. Here's Simmons, and it'll be third down and long.
Yeah, like what you said. It's the defense is not going to let Simmons beat him. We've not seen him work the outside much at all. This guy been averaging what,
179. Multiple 200-yard games. So they'll get it to him in the passing game, and he is slung down. Latrell Pitts, a senior leader of this Panthers defense, makes the play in the open field.
And a play that had to be made by Pitts. Set up really well. Pitts sniffed it out.
Boston 2 on the play, 4th down 11.
And a 3-and-out for the Gators to begin this second half. Tumbler from Kennedy. See where they mark it.
Front is out of bounds at the 34-yard line, 1st and 10, Carolina Forest.
Not 10:28 to go, third quarter.
So advantage out of the halftime adjustments to Carolina Forest on that possession at least.
They stopped the Goose Creek drive on down the last 2 times Goose Creek had it in the first half.
Not seen them go to Luke's brother Adam. He's a slot receiver, number 21. Got the most receptions on the team this year.
Watkins can be electric. Got a nice block there. Melvin Ravenel committed to the Citadel. Grabs him after a gain of about 6 with forward progress.
Did a nice job on the outside blocking. He's got his lineman pulling. There's Janek coming up. He doesn't catch the ball, but he blocked 2 guys right there.
Forward progress is going to give him a lot more. They gave him a first down, in fact. That's a very generous spot and a flag.
He has had, they're going to wave off the flag. I didn't know if they were going to call Janek on the block almost like
No penalty on
block in the back, but they did not call that.
After the run, second down.
Winstead's seen enough of these officials to last him till next season.
They did not give him the first down. About 8 yards on that carry. Jeanette hasn't gone down at the line of scrimmage much today, but he is gang tackled. And the leader of that group coming in for Goose Creek.
It's funny you said that. I was just thinking, it was like, I think on the first series, Darren, that he was stopped for no gain or maybe a loss of 1 or 2 of the game.
Jaden Johnson wearing 52 instead of 70.
Third down and 3.
We're going to see back-to-back 3 and outs?
Haven't seen that all day, have we?
No. Watkins, we're not going to see it. Got exactly what he needed.
As far as exciting quarterbacks or just players we've seen this year, he's certainly one of them.
Yeah, he's up there.
Who else? Davian Brown, the running back from First Baptist, got to be on your list.
Absolutely. C.J. Stokes from Hammond's on the list.
We don't count him because he's not from here.
Okay, but he was really good.
Those are 2 freshmen, by the way.
No, C.J. Stokes is junior.
Well, that's a freshman and a junior we're talking about right there.
But there is a lot of talented freshmen, or there are a lot that we've seen. That's about 3, maybe 4 there for Janak.
Running back from James Island.
Yes.
You can do it.
No, but Troy Grant from Ashley Ridge, he was impressive. See, now you're forcing me to go back through.
I know, but you can do it. I can't.
Hammond had a freshman running back who was.
I thought that was Stokes.
Something else. No, I meant Hanahan. Second down and about 6 here for Watkins, who has the edge and who has his jersey.
Is that Tolbert again? Nope. It's going to be Aaron Bryant.
Yep. And here's third down.
Gator fans is going to bring out a third down and 1.
Boy, he stayed with it. Came from behind to bring him down. Really nice play. A lot of different ways this Carolina Forest offense can go here on 3rd and short.
Got the extra blocker back there. They go with the big man, the bruiser, Janak. A first down to the 44 of the Gators. First down brought to you by West Shore Home. Convert that old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day. Visit westshorehome.com.
Yeah, Richardson came up to make that tackle.
The 44-yard line, 1st and 10.
Took the hit.
Are they going at a slower pace?
I think Carolina Forest is, and I think they are because Goose Creek is going fast.
Ahmad Johnson shifts to the right side. Janak goes over the right side. Picks up 10, maybe 11. Back-to-back first down runs for Janak.
Got some help by Caleb Godfrey, number 68. Carolina Forest offense does a nice job. That offensive line seals off, and then they get some pulling guards, and they've got some big fullbacks. Shoop, number 44, and Ahmad Johnson, he's listed as a tight end, number 45. See 45 right there? He's listed as a tight end.
And those 2 big guys on the left side are 3-year starters. Giovansanti, 70, and Godfrey, 68. 2 of the 4 seniors on this offensive line. So they are built, you get the sense, for this type of game, right? Sloppy field, run behind them.
If we get a delay a game here.
They didn't give him the first down either. That's big. I thought he had picked up the first down. Instead, he was a yard short, and now they back him up at 2nd down and 6.
Took a long time to get that play in.
After the 5-yard mark, 2nd down and 6.
First drive of the half for Carolina Forest. Forced Goose Creek to go 3 and out. Here's Watkins juking and jiving and picking up the first down and trying to shed Richardson, who eventually drives him out of bounds.
I mean, for a kid that's 6 feet 170, he's strong.
Yep.
So he squats about 415. Pretty good.
Yeah.
And benches about 255.
It's impressive. Doesn't look like that's a body that can support that. A little bit of a low snap, not a problem for Watkins. He is barely touched as he picks up another first down and is driven down out of bounds.
Curtis Smiley goes busting in, almost loses his containment, really, and just goes flying right by Watkins, or vice versa.
6-yard line, 1st and goal, Carolina Forest.
I think Carolina Forest looked at this drive, and they were able to keep Goose Creek off the board, and they put together a sustained drive and pick up 7 here. I think they're thinking that's all we need in this game.
We'll go back to what Janak said, the comment you referenced earlier. Here he comes, and he hits a brick wall at the line of scrimmage.
Janak on the carry.
Not sure who was underneath that or who stuck him. It is textbook tackling here.
Tackle led by Quinn
Tolbert.
Quinn Tolbert.
Tolbert just threw his man on the ground. That was
Loss of 1, 2nd and goal.
Johnson we were talking about.
This is the 12th play of this drive that started at their 34. And it's taken about 6 minutes. Janak blocking for Watkins. That's his average. 3rd touchdown of the day for Kyle Watkins.
And the refs missed a false start. 68 jumped, flinched before that play.
So Watkins, 3rd rushing touchdown. And it's a 2-score lead.
All right. Yep. Jason Winstead's had better days with the officials.
That's just got enough for the extra point.
Extra point is good.
28-14. Carolina Forest beat Goose Creek in the playoffs last year. Got a 2-touchdown lead at the Gators' place now, midway through the 3rd quarter. Let's crunch some numbers, brought to you by Anderson Brothers Bank. Kyle's style, and those touchdown numbers don't reflect his 3 tonight.
No. But that's the damage that he's done through the air and rushing. 26 total touchdowns.
Finally kicked one off deep, and will Goose Creek be able to make something out of it? Lunging out across the 30-yard line, Marion Scott.
Kick return by Marion Scott.
4:23 to go. You can see it right there. 3rd quarter.
I think it's Patrick Morrow with a nice tackle. But they have their field position, like you said, has been just excellent, except for the one drive. It was the end of the second quarter.
Yep. Last 3 drives, though, for the Gators. Turned it over on downs, turned it over on downs, and then 3 and out to start this half.
See if Carolina Forest starting to press up a little bit on those wide receivers.
Well, they gang up on Simmons. There it is. Plain as day, the face mask. That came in from Isaiah Coakley, and he didn't have to.
Yep, he was already down.
So from a 2-yard loss to 15 more.
Kind of break that Goose Creek needed after a 3 and out coming out of the half. Kind of wonder if Simmons starting to get a little frustrated. He's not been able to find holes in the middle.
Just like that. Drew Moore comes up to help with a block. Coakley with a clean tackle this time at the 49.
I'll tell you what else he does really well. He covers up that ball. When he sees trouble coming, keeps it tight to his body. Then he sees trouble coming. Watch him. Yeah, he just covers it up with 2 hands. Does that when he runs in the middle as well.
Second down and about 8. Here's Simmons. Hops to his left. Tripped up at the ankles. It'll be close to the sticks.
They gave him a bad spot again. I think they're gonna call him short.
Yeah, Dean's referencing in the first quarter on 4th down. Simmons got very close. And it was deemed he did not get it. Here they'll give it to him.
There you go. Just got to complain a little louder.
That's right. If you didn't know, we have earpieces in the refs, and they can hear this. Drew Moore downfield. That's been open most of the day. That goes to Levine and a first down.
Now Goose Creek wants to go fast. It's a good ball, sophomore quarterback.
Yeah, they got out of rhythm a bit when they started just taking deep shot after deep shot. They fake the screen. Here's Simmons through the middle, pushing against most of the Panther defense, and he's down to the 3-yard line. It's a first down. First down brought to you by West Shore Homes in the Miller Mount College Red Zone.
Nice job on the block by 39. That's Justin Pippin.
Here's Simmons, starting to get a groove here. What a tackle. Adam Janak, right down at the ankles.
Tackle by Adam Janak.
Nice open field tackle. Kid's got 18 career interceptions.
Knows how to tackle, too. Not like Deion Sanders. Touchdown there, Malachi Taylor. Second touchdown for the Coastal Carolina commit, and a big, quick answer for Goose Creek to get back within a score.
Yep. Was able to get it inside of Janek and just finished him off. Let me check if I can get some numbers out of that press box, because right now Drew Moore's.
I can tell you that was a 7-play, 69-yard drive, capped with the 5-yard touchdown strike, making it 28-21. Good one here in the opening round of the 5A playoffs.
Look at the sophomore quarterback pumping up his defense.
You know who he looks like? He looks like the dude from Karate Kid.
Yeah. Cobra Kai.
Yeah, and now Cobra Kai. Sweep the leg. Uh-huh. Dead ringer. For those of you watching up in the Grand Strand, you may not know about it, but there's a new show giving you your best Carolina Clemson coverage, SEC and ACC coverage.
Oh my God. Go.
The JB and Goldwater Show. You can find it everywhere on social media, or make it easy on yourself. Download the app, App Store, Google Play, JB and Goldwater.
Also good friends with Jamie Chadwell. Spent a lot of time here in the Low Country.
Yeah, their game got scrapped today. there was a COVID issue and contact tracing with Troy. So 15th ranked Chanticleers are not playing tomorrow. Carolina Forest will have it at the 33-yard line with 2:06 to play here in this third quarter. And then they ran off a couple more seconds. So it's a 2:04.
David Hill, Goose Creek's defensive coordinator, trying to dial something up. They need a 3-and-out here. But what are you going to do? You're going to sell out against the run up the middle and jam the box because you don't want Watkins to get outside.
Both teams know they got to slow down the rushing attack. It's been tougher for Goose Creek, but that time the Gators defense is there with Russell Holmes, the first one to smother. Big 90 right there.
Tackle by Chris Russell Holmes. Gain of 1, second down and 9.
Yeah, Russell Holmes comes in. Nobody gets a block on him.
Gave him a yard. So here's Watkins with 3 rushing touchdowns already tonight. Ravenel's got him, but he is driving Ravenel to the sticks. And then for an extra yard, a first down for the Panthers quarterback.
Tackle led by Ravenel.
I mean, you see the strength of the young man.
Ball spot at the 45-yard line, 1st and 10.
I mean, that first contact came 10 yards before he stopped.
You see his legs right there? Those don't look like legs that can just power people back. But if you've watched the game, they are.
Yeah.
Six and 1 on the year. Their only loss, Carolina Forest, to the team that won their region, Sumter. Lost that game in overtime, turned it over 4 times in that game. They've been clean with the football here tonight. And they've been powerful running it, both Watkins and Janak.
Flag comes in. Expect a hold here. I like the ball boy helping up Janak. It was nice.
Something came in. It must not have been a flag, though, because the clock is still running. Or the clock is inadvertently running. No, it's
something
running.
came flying in.
Yes.
So they get to play from the sidelines. Lyman and everybody have a play sheet on their wristbands.
Got a head of steam going before he even took that handoff. Janak has the first down on what will probably be the final play of this third quarter. Look at that clock still run after the first down. Got about another 5 seconds in. So the quarter's not quite done yet. Now they'll run it off. Third quarter's in the books. And it's a Carolina Forest lead. Winner to the second round of the South Carolina High School League playoffs. 28-21, Carolina Forest on top of Goose Creek. Glad you're with us. Heating Roofing Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Best game of the year so far. Fitting that it is the first round of the playoffs. With Dean Stevens, Darren Goldwater, Carolina Forest 1st and 10 from the Gator 41.
Expect nothing less.
It's been a very well-played game. Janak still powering, still bruising up that Goose Creek defense. Remember what Dean said at the start. Janak said that if you just keep on hitting this Gator defense, sooner or later they'll lie down. They haven't lied down yet.
He wasn't talking specifically about the Gators. He was just speaking as a whole on defenses.
Okay.
That if you keep running over them enough, they're not going to want to hit you late in the game.
That is a good distinction to make, that he wasn't talking specifically about.
Was not.
But he's going to still try to do it. Watkins, right read there, had to make the pitch with Richardson in his face. And Janak gets close to the first down. They're going to spot him short.
Aaron Bryant put the first hit on him. And not the last hit. I think that's what Janak was talking about. I mean, he comes up. Yeah, he's a strong kid.
I don't think he's gone down first hit, but more than once or twice. Watkins took a snap off the turf, then he slips to the turf, but it's a first down run for him on 3rd and short.
We were able to listen in the huddle a little bit. Jason Winstead asking somebody's got to step up and be the man here.
Down at 24-yard line, 1st and 10, Carolina.
And it's got to come right here, right now. And again, a clean game, no turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
On a sloppy field.
That's what you want in a playoff game. This is.
You want to know who's carried the load for Carolina Forest? Just look at the jerseys.
Some of them are white. 2 of them are
not.
Almost unrecognizable. Here's Watkins now, just slipping through the defense, down the sideline. A touchdown for Kyle Watkins. 24 yards, his 4th rushing touchdown of the night.
And he turns that corner, and he's gone, done. I mean, he's more of a Kyler Murray kind of quarterback.
9 plays, 67-yard drive. Took about 4 minutes. Low kick. It's got enough.
I'm trying to onside kick that one, too.
That was 35-21 Carolina Forest. Time to crunch some numbers, brought to you by Anderson Brothers Bank.
Yeah, we had some golf
Masters,
today.
Baby.
I knew everybody was wondering, hey, what happened to the Masters today? Well, most of the group still got to go back out and finish, like Tiger. I think he's at 5 under, 4 under right now.
4 under on 11. He's got his approach to 11 coming up tomorrow.
These are your Ford leaders. Answer Cam Smith, Justin Thomas at -9, and Patrick Cantley. All finished up.
Carolina Forest has now scored 4 touchdowns on its last 5 drives. Lead at 35-21. And feeling pretty good about things. Morian Scott waits, and then we'll take the 31, what was given to him.
I'll tell you what they've not done. Goose Creek's defense has not given up the big play. Out of 41 touchdowns for Carolina Forest this year, 28 came from 10 yards or an out. 19 from 20 or more, 8 from 50 or more. They like to strike quick, and they like to strike big. Right now, Goose Creek's offense has to answer again.
Dimitri Simmons is the one tasked with that, and it's Chuddick, 46, and Patrick Morrow, 24, who combine on the stop. Simmons started to get going on that last drive, but he averages 180 yards a game, and he is not near that mark. He'll come again. Get a block on the edge there from Kion Smith. Pick up the first down. 13 yards for him.
Running back / traffic cop. Pointing out where he needs his blocker to go.
More Dimitri Simmons. He gets stronger as the game goes along.
And that's Janik coming up with a hit from his safety spot. The only team right now from the Low Country with a lead is Oceanside. Dutch Forks up 35-7. Berkeley's down 34-13. River Bluff up 14-12 on the fort.
Drew Moore, after setting it up with Simmons, bombs it down, but Levine lost his footing.
Lost his equilibrium.
Yeah, balance, whatever you want to say. He wide open. He's out of bounds. It'll be 1st and goal, and the Limerick Keating and Air first down.
Another right on the money throw by Drew Moore. Cobra Kai.
Where'd they put him? At the 7. And they're going to throw again, and it's intercepted. Did he catch it? Did Janak catch it? We got a flag. He caught it. The brother of the Janak who's been running it so well is Adam Janak.
That's 19 career interceptions. And he just led him too much. And he did.
Oh, what a grab. My guess is the flag was celebration afterwards.
And the first turnover of the game.
Unsportsmanlike after the play on Carolina Forest. The first signal was that it was a touchback after the interception. So the ball is out to the 20, and then half the distance they should be starting at the 10.
That was... He just let it go a little too quick. Januck jumped it a little bit, got in front of Taylor. Taylor couldn't do anything about it.
Here's why that's as big. The last 2 drives for Carolina Forest were a 12-play drive and a 9-play drive that both took time off the clock and ended in the end zone.
And wore down this defense. And if you're going to find something deep, you got to go digging right now.
Watkins isn't touched. Tries to and successfully stays inbounds the 19-yard line. 9 yards for him. It's a heads-up play, too. Don't overlook that. Could have easily gone out of bounds. Not like the clock would have stopped anyway with this much time on it. But
Richardson comes up shaking his right arm a little bit. He looks fine.
Mark Morris told me this morning, when I asked him what the keys to this game would be, he said, well, with the field conditions what they are, the keys to the game change. Now it's just about protecting the football, making the big plays, and not giving them up. And there's 1 turnover in this game, and it's been a pretty big one here. But here's the defense at Goose Creek, now forcing a 3rd down. I think that was Jamarius McClellan up to make that hit. D-Heck reminds you, fight the spread. It's our mass cam.
And I think on this play, I'm bringing everybody. You're going to beat me one-on-one with a receiver if you're going to beat me at all. But Carolina Forest has been able to control that line of scrimmage.
They do put it in the air. They get a block on the edge and pick up the first down. Completion good to Elijah Brommel.
And I'm okay with that.
Nice block there by DJ Admill. Freed up that run for the first down.
They're doing a nice job of working the clock down. 7 minutes on the play clock.
Dean, I think that's the first time Carolina Forest has thrown the ball in the second half.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I am almost certain based on my charting of it. Here's Watkins now. Watkins into Ravenel. Man, when Ravenel is one of your leading tacklers from his corner and safety spot, right, that's telling you that they're getting deep.
I'd like to go back on my description. He is strong.
Yes.
And speedy. Shifty and strong.
Very much so.
Official timeout on the field.
Maybe for a measurement here.
I would think, although they spotted it right next to the chains and a pretty clear yard short. Will Lou Gray, never stop learning. Stop of the game. Definitely have some options out there. That's a good pick. Seeing as it's probably the biggest stop of the game thus far. The only turnover, 19th career interception for Adam Janak. Will Lou Gray, never stop learning. Stop of the game.
Philip Simmons down to Pelion now 12-7. Oceanside still clings to their lead 24-20.
Janak.
Yep.
Down at the line of scrimmage. They're fine with that. It's 3rd down and 1.
Janak on the carry.
For Dorchester down still 14-12 to River Bluff. I heard somebody from the crowd yell holding. It looked like Tolbert went in.
Gain of 1.
And was almost tackled at the line of scrimmage as he's trying to make his way across the line.
They gave him the first down. It's a heck of a spot.
Well, they missed the offsides on the touchdown on the previous one. They missed it holding there.
This drive started 3 minutes ago on the nose. It was 8:35 left. Started at the 10-yard line. They are taking every second off of the play clock and then keeping the clock rolling. Ravenel in on the stop. So is Alex Dial.
They are big chunks of yardage.
Gain of 8, 2nd down and 2.
Janak was right. You keep pounding him and pounding him sooner or later, especially at this point in time in the game. It does take its toll.
And as much as they've run the ball tonight, I mean, 95% of their plays have been on the run. And they have secured the football. They've not put it on the wet turf at all.
It's Johnson who shifts to the top of your screen. And it's Watkins who has the first down. Watkins thought about going down. Then he said, you know what? I got a lot more green in front of me. Dial catches up to him after a 26-yard run and a Limerick heating and air. First down.
Yeah, see him being able to plant, cut, and then the speed. And something tells me his 5th touchdown is not far.
That would give him 19 rushing touchdowns in 8 games. He's got 18 right now. He has 4 rushing touchdowns tonight.
And he was a wide receiver last year. Not even his natural position. It's almost like running the Wildcat.
Janak runs into the back of one of his offensive linemen, Chris Russell Holmes. The junior number 9, he's played a nice game tonight on that defensive line. Give him the stop.
This is obviously 4 downs for Carolina Forest. And Goose Creek has got to stop here.
Yeah. I mean, every play is, another 40, 45 seconds off the clock by the time they spot it, start the play clock.
Yeah, they've done a great job in working this clock in the second half, right off the rip.
This drive is over 5 minutes long. May have flinched on the left side of the line.
flag and whistle prior to the snap.
Why is the clock still running?
I'll tell you, Dean.
They just lost 8 seconds.
This has
And
been
that's the
happening
home clock.
all game. It's been happening all game. I've noticed it after scores. I've noticed it after first downs. All game. Extra seconds have ticked off the clock.
Mark off second down, 15.
On the road, I get it.
Mm-hmm. All game. I've been paying attention. That's how I'm so assertive. Let's get a look at our Cruise Chevrolet drive of the game. You got a friend in the car business and the used car business. You can take your pick right here. Carolina Forest has had some nice, long drives. They've thrown it once in the second half because the legs of 11 and 2, Watkins and Janak, and the big bodies up in front of them, putting on a display here against the Gators.
You just got to say it loud enough. They're putting time back on the clock now.
Are they? Because more time ran off it.
No, it should be like at 3:09.
It should be. Because it stopped at 3:04, and now they're rolling it. Telling you. Watkins. It'll be third down and long, and maybe time for a Goose Creek timeout here.
Absolutely. Which they probably called 7 seconds ago.
No, they haven't called it.
Tackle by Demarius McClellan.
I mean, I've been wondering throughout this game if that was part of Goose Creek's ideal. Maybe we can shorten the game if a couple seconds, tick off the clock after every whistle. That's how much I've been paying attention to this. But in this spot, you certainly wouldn't expect it.
I'm surprised he let it run down.
I mean, he needs 2 scores. Here's Janak. And it'll be fourth down.
Takes it now.
Watch the clock.
On the carry.
There it goes.
Timeout on the field, Goose Creek.
I mean,
that should have been. That was at 1:59. They called that at 1:59. They let 12 seconds run off.
Right. It hasn't been that bad all game. It's been more 4 or 5 seconds.
I mean, you think Coach Winstead's got an issue with the officials after this game on a couple of calls. Just wait till he figures out what happened with his time guy.
Now, I wonder. I don't think the technology there is sophisticated enough where the clock is stopping on the whistle. A lot of times in college pros, that is what you see.
Right.
The officials blow the whistle. It is connected with the clock. I think it is being run from up in the booth, but I don't know that for sure. But that was a lot of time that they just lost. And I bet you, if you add up...
You're going to get a minute.
Throughout the game, if you add it up...
You're going to say more.
Certainly in the minute range, if not more, yes. Absolutely. Every whistle, I'm telling you. Every whistle.
Obviously a must stop. Overstating the obvious.
4th and 10. Here comes the second pass of the second half. And it is juggled and dropped by DJ Admill. Gators take over, 3 timeouts, and the clock didn't move.
The clock did not run.
Now it is, though. Now it's running.
What are we doing? Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
It's week 9.
Okay.
Week 8.
So something's up with the clock. We're going to take a break. It's back for the Goose Creek drive. Down 14, 1:40 to play. It's go time right now for the Gators. They've got 2 timeouts left. They've got 1:40 left, and they're down by 14. Trying to keep their season alive against the team that ended it last year. Gators start from their 21 here. This is just their 4th possession of the half.
Get out of bounds. Gotta call a timeout here, don't you?
You
Well, the
think
clock's
so.
not running,
The
so it
clock
doesn't
never
really
started.
matter.
So you know what it could be?
First down, Goose Creek.
I don't know what.
Maybe there's just a timing issue with the clock. When you hit start, it takes a while to start. See, it's not running now. And then by the time you stop it, it's still going. It's catching up. It didn't run during that play. And watch, now it's going to run. But still, this is what the coaches and players are looking at. It makes not a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we were wrong. Maybe we owe somebody an apology.
It looks like it is delayed. So if you hit the button start, it just doesn't start on the clock. And then by the time you stop it, it's got catching up to do. That is what I'm going to go with.
Okay.
But it is still very odd, and it still certainly causes confusion.
For us.
At least.
I've asked somebody at the field what's going on with it. You go back the end of the first half when Goose Creek stalled out, driving the ball to put some points on the board.
More downfield, Kion Smith. That collision came precisely on time from Adam Janak. Same guy who had the interception on the previous drive. And I think it shook up Kion a little bit.
He hits like his brother runs.
Yes, he does. Bet you they've had some interesting in-house collisions. Looked clean. Looked like it was at the exact same time.
Philip Simmons loses 12-7.
Keating Roofing Player of the Game. And it's going to be the guy who's got 4 touchdowns in the game. Probably a good selection, huh? Watkins has 27 touchdowns in 8 games. That's 3.5 a game. It's a lot of points he's scored. And he's got 4 touchdowns of the 5 tonight for Carolina Forest.
Yeah, this runs more like a Wildcat offense, right? The old Ronnie Brown.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, going to the Auburn, huh?
Well, I don't.
But yeah, no, it's right. And they did it with the Dolphins too. 3rd down and long.
3-man rush.
Yeah, they're dropping 8. Moore brings up 4th down. Yeah, see, the clock didn't start. It's almost every play now. The clock doesn't start on time.
And then it runs.
Now it starts.
So, technology issue on our end.
Interesting. So it could be technology on our end because the camera that we're using to shoot the clock is, well, I guess all of them actually are delayed slightly.
So
but
we do.
It's only the clock cam that has that delay. The others do not. If that makes any sense. Right? So it is. That's right. Nice catch, Nick. Because that clock started on time right as that ball snapped. And the clock you see is just behind.
Tell you what, they were Carolina Forest lucky not to get a shot to the head on that play.
They may have. There's a flag.
And our official apology to the clock operator.
Absolutely.
At Goose Creek.
Absolutely. Our bad for hammering you A lot. It is our fault. See, when you make a mistake, own it. There you go.
Personal foul against the Panthers.
15 extra yards for Goose Creek. 54 seconds left.
Penalty ball spotted the 28-yard line. First down, Goose Creek.
The turnover and the interception in the end zone, their last drive.
That was the killer. Carolina Forest was able to eat off a lot of time. Moore's got to get out of bounds here and will, just shy of the 10. Limerick heating an air first down. So they're not done. They can get into the end zone, recover an onside kick, still have a timeout, and still have a couple of seconds left.
First down, Goose Creek.
See how Carolina Forest plays this. See if they bring pressure here. They do.
They haven't in a long time. Moore out of the pocket, almost picked again, but Levine wins it away from Janak.
Levine on the reception.
So they force him out of the pocket.
Timeout on the field, Goose Creek.
I thought he may have tucked it and run again. Got some good speed. We haven't seen that from Moore this year.
What they did do, forced Goose Creek, though, to use that timeout. Because that ball stayed in bounds, Goose Creek had to take its final timeout. So now a score and an onside kick, you don't have that timeout. We thought we'd see some points. We have. But the Panthers have never trailed. They went on top first. Goose Creek has had the answer often, but only once in this half have the Gators found the end zone. Drew Moore had a heck of a day. Simmons took a little while to get going, not until the second half.
Well, they're going to look back at this game and look at that last drive of the second quarter where they went deep twice, and then the interception in the end zone. And what was a flawless game by Moore up to that point. Just threw the ball a little early.
Got to throw it here. Almost intercepted. It is incomplete, so the clock stops.
Big fella wanted his hands on the ball. Latrell Pitts.
This is third down. Obviously 4-down territory. And almost picked off. Janak, who had the interception on the last drive, almost grabbed another one.
You see how he jumps the route. That's why he's got 19 interceptions. See if they go back to a jump ball situation with maybe Taylor here.
Got a bunch of tall receivers. This is fourth down. This is the game. Taylor caught it before it was stripped. What are you going to rule?
I think
catch
or
drop.
I think he's
touchdown.
He had a couple of steps in possession.
That's the right call. So they're not dead yet.
6'4", 185. And we've seen it from Taylor all game. He extends those long arms and makes some great catches. Would be a great addition for Jamie Chadwell.
That Chanticleer team was picked dead last in the Sun Belt, and they're undefeated and 15th in the country.
That's awesome.
And Taylor committed to them before this year. He's got to be thrilled.
You think?
Let's see what this flag is. If this is against Carolina Forest, then...
And you get the onside kick.
Uh-huh.
And you pick up an extra 15.
Uh-huh.
See, I've worked with you long enough.
Roughing the kicker.
Roughing the kicker is indication against Carolina Forest.
So they're kicking off from about midfield.
A couple of penalties on that drive against Carolina Forest help the Gators get down to the goal line. Now this one puts them in a
It's been a clean game penalty-wise until this drive and a few 15-yarders.
There's something that's still stuck in his hat that he's not happy with. You see why people go to war with this guy, right?
They're kicking off from the 45-yard line of the Panthers.
Good hands team.
If you get the onside kick, you're at least at the 35. This game is not over. David Kennedy. There's a flag down. They were offside.
Yep. Not going to matter. Unless if it's an offside, it's dead ball, right? You got to re-kick it?
I think you can decline the penalty. Nope.
False start against the Gators. After the 5-yard mark off, free kick.
Didn't we have a game on an onside kick where they were looking to kick it right and the guy somehow kicked it left? You remember that?
We've had BE's had some weird kicks. See if the Gators can get this one. Got the hop, and it hopped right into the hands of DJ Admill. Carolina Forest will escape Goose Creek with a win and advance in the 5A playoffs.
Yep. Took an unlucky bounce. I think he hit it hard, wanted to hit it and maybe knock it off of somebody.
Goose Creek can't stop the clock. So all it takes is one kneel down here for our player of the game, Kyle Watkins, who scored 4 touchdowns tonight. A dominant rushing effort for the Panthers. And the number 2 seed from Region 6 5A will take out the top seed from Region 7 5A and advance in the playoffs. The Panthers have knocked out the Gators back-to-back years in the playoffs. They do it this time by 7, 35-28.
And they will look back on this game and some of the things that could have been.
Well played game.
We've said it the last couple of years. Jason Winstead's got this program on the rise, on the move. And he brings back Drew Moore as a junior. He brings back Simmons as a senior. He brings back Kion Smith as a senior.
So you're saying they're going to be good.
They will continue to be good.
We'll get you the trophy presentation, wrap this up. Carolina Forest advances. Keep their season alive. They are now 7-1 on the year. 35-28 your final score. let's give away our mini Lombardi trophy here. Carolina Forest can take that thing back to the Grand Strand and advance in the playoffs. Hard-fought win. Wasn't easy. Just look at the jersey at number 11. Look at the jersey at number 2. Impressive running performance for Watkins, for Janak. And that defense held Goose Creek to 2 touchdowns in the second half.
It'll be fun to watch this team advance. As for the Low Country teams tonight, everybody has lost. OCA is leading. Hand-to-hand plays tomorrow. Thanks to everybody who was able to put this season together in a pandemic, right?
Yeah. Unbelievable job by everybody involved in this production to limit the footprint, put on these remote productions. Dean and I have been in the studio all year long, and it's been virtually flawless. Great job to everybody involved. Had a lot of fun working with y'all.
Thanks for putting up with me.
I'm sure we'll be back to do it again next year. Thanks to all the sponsors for making FNR possible. Tune in to ABC News 4 at 11 for Friday Night Rivals. Complete rundown of these scores from around the Low Country and around the state. Maybe Oceanside will pick up a win for the Low Country. For Jason Bennett, for Nick Case, 2 guys you don't see or hear much, we do. For Dean Stevens, for everybody involved, thank you, thank you. Had a lot of fun. I'm Darren Goldwater, and we'll be back next year for another year. Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet.